20% of the global oil supply passes through a very tiny stretch of water. February 28th, the United States and Israel launched a series of joint coordinated attacks against Iran, which resulted in the death of the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, as well as other senior officials in the regime. As was expected, Iran retaliated with drone and missile attacks against US bases, US embassies, and key infrastructures in the Gulf. They likewise also closed the Strait of Hormuz. Now, over the subsequent weeks, the attacks did not stop. From schools to universities, infrastructural cities to oil fields, they all felt the brunt of the damage of these attacks. On the 7th of April, Donald Trump issued his most serious threat so far, giving Iran until 8 p.m. Eastern Time or 1 a.m. 8th of April Nigerian time for them to either reopen the Strait of Hormuz or in essence face total destruction of their power plants as well as all their bridges. As was expected, Iran did not blink and rather called it a bluff. People waited to see what was going to be the impact if the deadline passed and nothing was done. 2 hours to the end of the deadline, Pakistan announced that they had brokered a deal between Iran and the United States. Now, the both of them have claimed strategic victory, but the EIA have come out to say that even an opening of the Strait of Hormuz will not give us back full oil flow until the late 2026 as of now. So now the bombings have stopped, the killings have stopped, but the economic impact is still being felt.
Yes, the economic damage is still being felt. Back from the summit earlier, no country is living in isolation and bringing the geopolitical tensions that is happening in the Middle East back home. One question that is in the mind of many people is that if the war is happening in thousands of kilometers away from here, then why is life becoming expensive in Nigeria? The answer is straightforward. Global shocks don't stay where they start. They flow through oil prices, exchange rates, inflation, and supply chains. This will mean that when global oil prices go up, the local market will also fuel it. This creates a cycle, which means that externally, Nigerian benefits from increase in global oil prices. Internally, increase in oil prices raises costs for businesses and reduces their margins, and it reduces the purchasing power of individuals in the economy. So this creates a cycle, which means that externally, Nigerian benefits from increase in oil prices, and this is felt at the pump price, where PMS price, which was trading within 700 to 800 naira per litre, shoot up to 1,200 to 1,300 naira per litre in March, which is as a result of the movement in global oil prices. This is felt in diesel prices, which moved from about 1,100 naira per litre to 1,500 naira per litre. Likewise, jet fuel, which was trading at 900 naira in January, shoot up to about 2,500 naira in March due to these same changes in global oil prices. Now let's talk about exchange rates. Typically, periods of global tensions usually trigger capital flight from emerging markets to more safer markets. Countries like Nigeria leading to reduction in foreign capital inflows. So what does this result to? The pressure on the naira. Though the naira has been relatively stable for over 12-month period, which has contributed to an increase in foreign reserve. However, from the middle of March, there has been a reduction in the foreign reserve due to the global tensions going on in the Middle East. This is where it becomes increasingly important. The market is already pricing in the shifting geopolitical tensions, changes in macro conditions, and the shift in liquidity conditions in the economy. This has been changing the way investors approach the market in recent times. Investors are becoming increasingly selective, tilting towards sectors that can benefit from this current environment and can also help hedge against inflation. In this environment, we can see the oil and gas space increasingly getting attention of investors as investors expect the sector to benefit from this current environment. Likewise, the banking sector is gaining more attraction, supported by the current interest rates environment and increased resilience in terms of revenue and financial results declared thus far. At our core, as an investment banking and stockbroking firm, this is an environment where active positioning becomes increasingly important, because this is no longer a market where broad exposure delivers returns. It is a market where sector selection, timing, earning visibility drive performance.